Okay, good morning. Welcome to
Family Math number 322.
FamilyMath322. So today we're going to study, or not completely, but begin studying something called the surreal numbers. And they're talked about in this new book that Siobhan Roberts wrote called Genius of Play about John Conway. Have you ever heard John Conway's name before?
I think he was the guy that did that life game.
Yeah. And what do you remember about the game of life?
There were glider guns.
And glider eaters.
You like glider guns and glider eaters? Yeah. So Conway's done a lot of things, and in particular he studied a lot about games, and along with some of his colleagues. And I read a cool presentation about his games by one of the games that we're going to talk about today that involves red and blue snap cubes. But there's a funny thing in here about the surreal numbers that made me want to talk about them. They're talking about, there's something called the Canada United States Math Camp, and they're talking about John Conway. It says the campers were impressed by Conway's versatility. For instance, the 15 topics he offers candidates in the vote for the Conway Hour. So there are a bunch of different topics. I think he's the closest thing the world has to a polymath, said Sachi Hashimoto at 17. And then she confessed, the first time you see the surreal numbers, you break. You just break. Your brain cracks open. Is he excited to talk about the surreal numbers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully our brains won't crack open.
Hopefully not. I don't know. Let me know if that happens though. Okay, so we're going to talk about a game that's a version of a game that Conway studied, and Jim Propp calls it checker stacks. And it's actually a really simple game. So we're supposed to play with checkers, but instead of playing with checkers, we'll just play with snap cubes. And so it's a pretty simple game. So you put some checkers on the board. That's enough for now, and some other checkers on the board. Who wants to be blue?
I'll be blue.
Okay, I'll
You'll
be red.
blue. You'll be red. Okay. And the game is to, each turn you can take away one of your color. And whoever gets down to a position when it's your turn and you have nothing to take away, you lose. Okay? So you're blue,
Yeah.
you're red.
Yep.
Here's our game. Okay? Who do you think's going to win this game?
Well,
It seems like blue is going to win because you have more to take away.
Okay.
So who would go first?
Well, that's a good question and an important one. And trying to figure out who's going to win. Let's say blue goes first. Who do you think's going to win?
well then you take away
Yeah, I still think blue
take away one and then you take away one and red. So red loses.
Why does red lose?
Well, red only loses when you have nothing to take away.
Yeah. So it's blue's turn now. So what does blue do?
Blue takes
Blue
away.
takes that away, and then red can't take away anything.
So blue wins. Okay. So on this one, blue wins. If blue goes first. What happens if red goes first in this game? See if you can tell me without touching them.
Well, red takes his away, then blue takes one away, and then red can't take anything away.
Okay.
Red still loses.
All right. So this is a pretty simple version of the game. Why don't you guys set up one more version of the game and let's analyze it.
Maybe we could have. Well, here if we have 4 red and 4 blue.
This is going to be a very good one to analyze.
Well-
What happens here?
It depends on who goes first
Whoever goes first
would win.
loses.
Well, oh yeah. Whoever goes second wins. Because whoever goes first gets, when they go after they've taken 4 away, they can't take any more away. And it's not their turn yet.
Okay. Understand?
Yep.
So the interesting thing that Conway studied about this game, along with some of his colleagues, was that you could describe this game with numbers. And you could tell just from the number who was going to win and who wasn't going to win. So each blue could be a +1, each red could be a -1, and then you just add up the pluses and minuses. And if it's positive, because blues are +1s, if it's positive, blue wins no matter if blue goes first or second. If it's negative, red wins no matter if red goes first or second.
But what if it's a tie?
If it's 0, then the person who goes first loses. just like we saw here. But there's more complicated versions of this game, so let's talk about that, okay?
All right.
Okay.